Kanye got dropped by Adidas. How do we feel about it?
Expected, right?
Yeah.
You can't be the German sports company holding on to the anti-Semite for that long. The fact that it took this long is actually kind of like, if you think Germany...
concerning.
Yeah, dude, Germany's entire thing right now, like their whole marketing for the past 70 years has been, hey, we're not with that shit anymore.
Yeah.
And then Kanye's just saying all this wild shit about the Jews,
Yeah.
DEFCON 3, and they're just like, well, let's see how
We're
this
gonna
plays
hear
out.
them out.
I can't believe Germany let it stand this
Was
long.
he working with Adidas when he says slavery was a choice?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's what I've seen comments about. It's like, yo, why when he was talking to black people, nobody had to rethink their relationships?
Why didn't they drop him then? That's what I don't know.
So he was, go on out. Go on out.
I'm just saying.
Because the Jews control the fucking banks. And
No,
the
that's
media.
incorrect.
And the soccer
Is that what I'm
cleats.
supposed to
Andrew
say?
is back.
I was just kidding, guys. It's Halloween. That was my costume. Woke guy. Okay. No, go. Why did they not drop him then? When slavery was a choice.
I don't think the outrage from everyone collectively was as loud as it was. It was loud from black people, but not anyone else.
Interesting.
Can I posit a theory?
Yeah.
Kanye being black left other people not
Saying
knowing how to
words that
respond.
turn me on, boy. Posit?
Yeah.
That
I was
shit turned
happy
me
when
on,
I came
bro.
up
I
with it,
ain't
yo.
gonna lie,
I was
dude.
like, I got this. This is the
Oh,
right word.
shit.
This is the right word.
I'm about to deposit something in you. You keep talking like that.
Started giving them googly eyes and shit. I'm like, oh, okay,
Go,
talk
go.
to me
Go,
nice.
posit that shit.
Yeah, if I may posit this theory.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Kanye being black left non-black people who are already like, I don't know how I'm supposed to deal with black issues. I don't know what's okay and what's not. Most people are like, this guy's out of his mind. But I think objective people were like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here.
Yo, that's interesting. It's like black people can be racist towards black people in a way more acceptable way. Like Jews can make Jew jokes. Jews can say bad shit about Jews. Maybe the Jewish community is saying that's fucked up. But for whatever reason, it seems more distasteful when one group is accusing another group of something or being mean to another group. And you've seen it with these NBA team owners.
Yeah.
The dude of Phoenix Suns said the N-word,
Out.
sell your team.
Sterling, out.
Exactly, right? And canceled by other Jews, mind you. If Jews own all the basketball teams and they're seeing these other Jews do some racist shit and they're kicking them the fuck out, what happened to that loyalty?
Yeah.
Why aren't the boys coming together?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is kind of interesting. I think what's so funny about this situation is Kanye is going like, see who's really in control? And it's like, brother, this happens to every single person that has ties to a major corporation that is afraid of being radioactive because of the actions of one person.
Yeah.
That's all this is. Do these big corporations really give a fuck about the average person? No, they got little kids sewing together their clothes.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck. What they care is if the world is going, is Adidas an anti-Semitic company?
And the consumer, it's in the consumer's face to say, do I want to support this? That sweatshop shit, it's behind closed doors. We all hear about it. None of us really want to know.
We don't bring it up.
Because then we
And
can't
it
buy
benefits
it.
us.
And exactly, it
Yeah,
helps us.
yeah.
Is Amazon killing the mom and pop stores? Sure.
Absolutely.
They ain't my mom and pop. You know what I mean? I get my shit cheaper and delivered right to my
And
apartment.
even if it was, I'm going to probably keep buying because it's cheaper everywhere else. They beat them in every way. iPhones, every one of us got a slave machine. Little kids in China, wherever, making it, and we're just like, I don't see it. And going on Drink Champs and saying anti-Semitic shit, I cannot escape
You know what's
this.
fucked up? I know that they make it.
Yeah. We know, but we don't see.
Yeah.
It's the video. Do you remember Ray Rice?
You don't know?
I don't know.
Oh, it's the Ray Rice when he was dragging his girl around.
We knew he hit his wife, but when we saw it, it just affects us differently.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. And it's a shitty thing about humans, but we can be willfully ignorant very easily if we don't see it.
Yeah.
Once we see it, it's different.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's that shocking what's happening to him.
Yeah.
I can't believe that he's shocked by it. And he feels like it's some sort of like justification for what he's saying this whole time.
Yeah.
Is it possible he's doing it intentionally to get out of the contract? To
That's
get
what I was-
Okay,
IP
so
and shit?
I was talking to somebody that we know, and he was like, this is actually Kanye's goal, but he probably didn't think that he was going to become this radioactive and that might hurt his long-term vision, right? He's having some trouble, exactly. I mean, if you see it, he's on Drink Champs going like, I can even say anti-Semitic shit and Adidas won't drop me. He's trying to get out, this is the assumption, he's trying to get out of the Adidas contract.
He's daring Adidas to drop them.
Because why does he want to get out of the Adidas contract?
Because
he is, go.
No,
Well, he feels that he's built Yeezy up to $1 billion brand. Now he no longer needs to be shackled to Adidas and have them tell him what he can or can't do.
And make the knockoffs of his shit.
and make a knockoff decision. And he wants to get that shoe revenue, I'm sure, probably. So now here's the thing. He says all these crazy things. He gets out of the contract. Right now, he has a royalty deal with Adidas, right? So they got to pay him. But what's beautiful about the deal he got with Adidas is that they make all his shit. They have the factories, they have the stores, they have the distribution, right? They have all the websites, they have everything set up. Getting a factory to make your shit, getting all those SKUs done, getting all these things made. He has thousands of employees at his hands at Adidas.
Yeah.
Right? You remove that. Kanye is just that kooky creative guy that goes on all the podcasts that has all these ideas, but who knows how to execute them.
He's an idea man. He always needs daddy, like you said.
He admits he's an idea man. And that's why when he tried to do things by himself, he lost $53 million. When he did the fashion thing by himself, he lost all the money. When he partners with somebody who's a great businessman, all of a sudden, he can create some absolutely amazing things. He's done a great job in the music world. He's done an unbelievable job in the fashion world. I'm sure that he would continue to do great in whatever business endeavor he got into with the creative vision and someone who is all about that business. Because Kanye's the type of person that's gonna say, make these fucking sneakers, and then they're gonna come back and he's go, you know what, I'm not feeling those anymore. Let's scrap all the sneakers. You need someone at a corporation that goes, that's not how things work.
Yeah.
You agreed on these models, and this is what we're gonna put out.
And next time, make him the one you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then sometimes those models do well, and then Kanye's like, I knew I was right about making those models.
Right.
Right? So I wonder if he's trying to get out, but now he's maybe done too much damage to get another investor or partner. Because who's going to invest in him now? Maybe the Saudis or some Middle East person who doesn't have that much sympathy for the Jewish plight, right? But the average like American or European brand is not going to dump a few $100 million into Kanye West to build out Yeezy.
Also,
Reestablish those distribution. What do you think? Al,
I don't know. I'm just saying, it's like when you see his track record, like, yes, it's volatile, it's risky to get in business with him, but the upside can be good as well. So, like, I think brands are going to see this behavior. They're going to wait a while, wait till this shit dies down a little bit, maybe let him put out like a fire album or some shit like that, and they'll jump at the chance to connect with Kanye.
So he needs to cure his reputation first. Once he's cured it.
I think you just need some time to go by.
And the time will cure the reputation.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
But first things first is cure the perception.
yes.
Al, you don't think so?
Like if you see,
Well, you're black, and you guys forgave him for saying that. So then, no, I mean that sincerely.
I mean,
I
I don't think what he said was as bad as the anti-Semitic comments that he made.
really,
Yeah,
that
like,
slavery was a choice.
yeah, actually, that was pretty bad. Yeah,
But
like that was a time period. I think I stopped wearing any Yeezy stuff. I cut out the albums for a while, but like I've really distanced myself from everything Kanye because I was really so upset by those comments.
And then
after time went by and the music started to introduce itself back into it, and then I forgave him.
he
And I
never
think
said he was wrong. He never stopped fucking with Trump.
That's true. That's true.
He's hold true to all the things that you're saying that you were offended by.
Yeah.
And you giving him a pass.
Yes,
Which is
and
to his point, time.
I
Time
think
cures.
the world will do that, and
Jews ain't
eventually.
doing that.
Well, like Mel Gibson.
Their
did the same
entire
thing.
motto is never forget.
They forgave Mel Gibson.
Did they?
No.
Weirdly, he's in the independent circles. Like he's been able to like get back in.
I forgot
and
who
make
it
his
was.
things.
Someone like a famous Jew like came out and was like, "We gotta forgive Mel Gibson. We gotta like move past."
Passion of the Christ made $1 billion, and they was like, "Listen, there's some forgiveness here."
There's a sequel that we hear about. That would be really good. I think though that the version, besides like him going away for a while, there's going to be some type of factory that he could do it independently. He can be doing Yeezy drops that'll be super successful. They'll still show like he's
Somebody's
for sure
gotta
going to
do
have
them, though. That's the thing. Like, he's not the person to build these relationships with these factories.
You can link with
No,
a private
dude,
business person.
there's so many factories in
Somebody's
China
doing them
that you
already.
can actually
All the
are set
knockoffs,
up
you
to
just
do
have
this.
to connect with the
I don't think there's the biggest leap to do the type of distribution that Adidas has. Now that'll
Yeah.
take a while, but there's a version at a certain scale that he'll be able to kind of immediately go
Yes,
into.
a smaller scale, I think that is absolutely possible, and there's no question. And maybe he could make even more money at a smaller scale because he's keeping everything. That's possible. But it's undeniable that he needs factory connections, creatives to make the stuff, and also who might want to work with him right now. If you're an up-and-coming designer, like a true brilliant guy who's on the cusp of working with a Louis Vuitton or working with a, I don't know, Balenciaga or whatever these companies, and then Kanye a year ago said, come work with me, you'd be like, well, fuck yeah, let's do it. Now you're like, that might ruin the rest of my career.
Yeah.
And this guy might burn out. He might fire me. He might hate me.
And that's another thing to consider in terms of burnout. Adidas owns everything. that Kanye has put out. They own
Yeah.
all old Yeezus colorways. They own the name.
Yeah.
They own everything. So now you're banking on, can Kanye make new shit as hot as what he made with Adidas? And could just be some boomer shit, but I'm looking at his new stuff a lot now and being like, And I don't think the heat is there.
I'd give you pushback on that. I think he can. I think that he has, and if it's not the creative vision, it is the confidence to push it through. I mean, like, fashion is arbitrary,
Yeah.
right? Like, sometimes what's cool now will be uncool in a matter of years.
That's
like
factual.
legit uncool.
Yeah.
So there is no one thing that defines cool. It's are the cool people wearing it. And Kanye had the ability to influence other cools to wear it. Now the question is, if he's released his grasp on those influencers, then he can't convince people to wear the stupid boots or whatever the fuck it is.
Now, think about this with those influencers. A lot of them want to be Hollywood types. They want to be in the industry in some form or fashion.
Exactly.
There's a lot of Jews in the industry. I'm not saying they run it or do it with an agenda.
Now you're
There's
saying
damn
that.
sure a lot of them. So if they're looking at every person like, this motherfucker wearing Yeezys to my meeting, or I see him on Instagram with wearing all this Kanye West shit, I don't need to fuck with this guy. Will they take the risk of costing themselves that relationship because they're wearing the fashion of somebody who's on the record as being anti-Semitic?
It's just a time thing. People wear Armani now, and that shit, they were like designing Nazi uniforms.
Hugo
Yeah,
Boss.
but you're talking about
Hugo Boss,
80
yeah.
years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, I know. So give it 3 years, and I think people will be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that." That was.
I mean, the Volkswagen is people's car. It's literally Hitler's car.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do agree that in time it will pass, but again, a lot of time has passed since World War II. Now, it was way worse, but we're talking 80 years, multiple generations. Kanye not gonna be putting out fashion in 80 years unless.
I'm telling you, people's attention span,
Yeah,
they don't
I mean,
care.
they'll be
bro.
worried about something else
And
in the future.
And
Yeah.
the people love clout, and Kanye's still gonna have that clout.
Like, he can garner attention. We're still talking about him right now, and he has an unbelievably entertaining way of talking. Like, whether you like it or don't like it, he is wildly entertaining. Like, I was watching the Lex Freeman. I'm watching it and I'm just laughing.
hey, don't say Jewish media, JM.
JM. It's laugh. There's a few, dude. He has this one thing that he goes. I knew Kim would never love. He goes, I knew Kim would never love Pete, and not because he's ugly, but because she likes black guys. That not because he's ugly is the most unnecessary thing. But that is him being petty and angry and he just wants to call Pete ugly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kanye ain't the best looking motherfucker. Do you know what I'm saying?
The fact that he put himself with Reggie Bush, he's like, yo, she got a
got a
tight
tight
knee.
knee.
Reggie
Unfucking
Bush, like Reggie Bush is way
That's
hotter than you, bro.
that's how racist Kanye is towards black people. He thinks they all look the same.
Literally.
Ray J, Reggie Bush. She also left out her first husband, who looked nothing like them,
Right.
Chris Humphrey. But Ray J, Reggie Bush, and me all look the same.
That's a good ass point.
Yeah, Chris
He
Humphrey looks
completely-
nothing like.
But the first guy that proposed might look like the guy, the music guy. What's his name? He was like a producer. Fuck.
Oh,
You'll
I
look
forgot
him.
this one.
Anyway, but yeah, Chris Humphries looked nothing like him. That being said, very short-lived relationship.
Well, yeah. Fair enough. But marriage.
Yeah. I think it's excuse me. Yeah, I think I don't know. It's an interesting time.
It depends if he persists with the attitude and the behavior.
Yeah.
If he like somehow does like a whole apology tour, does like a movie with Jewish producers, like
Yeah.
some type of like major act of retribution to like the Jewish community and society at large, and
Yeah.
then just kind of chills for like a year, I think he'll be back in the fold. He'll be able to partner with an independent business person that will get the contracts with the Chinese
Yeah.
factories. He'll be able to do the marketing push, and it'll even be more exclusive. Like the price of Yeezy is already going up because they're not producing them anymore.
Oh, wow,
So it's like he's gonna be able to drop shit, and it's like, oh, there's only 1,000 of these getting made versus Adidas global distribution.
Yeah.
He's gonna be able to keep all of it. It's all gonna go up.
It absolutely could work. The question is, how radioactive will he be, and will people want to work with him? And if it's profitable enough and shit has died down enough in a year, then maybe they will.
And also based off the current attitude, like on social,
Yeah.
I don't think enough people are not fuck with him that he's not gonna be profitable.
Here's something though. Here's something about social I think that we need to understand. And he's doing what Trump did brilliantly. And I think people often say this and they use it as like a way to discredit people, and I'm not. But Trump tapped into passionate groups that had no mainstream representation, and he gave them a voice. And the thing about having no mainstream representation is when you do, you forgive the other shit they say because you're just so excited that they're talking for you, right? Like, so for example, there's single issue voters. Like there are people who are like, I do not believe in abortion. I don't give a fuck what you want to do with the economy. I don't care what you want to do about immigration. I do not believe in abortion. So if you tell me you're banning abortion, you could say whatever the fuck you want about the Jews. You could say whatever the fuck you want about the blacks. As long as we not aborting, I'm voting for you.
There's anti-Semites that like Ben Shapiro.
Love him.
Yeah.
Absolutely love him. And he's gonna have to deal with that. That's the next thing. That's a very
I don't think he'll have
Why are there anti-Semites in life?
Because he's on their time. He's on their
The Venn
side.
diagram's got some crossover.
They don't like that he's Jewish, but they love that he's conservative and he's fighting for conservatives.
And he's giving them all
making
great
them-
points, and he's
Yes.
he's like telling them what to say to their friends, and like giving them argument, like
He's
and
giving
making
them Harvard level-
documentaries and all this shit.
The American breakdown
You
of
could
Jews
look
is like
past the fact that he's Jewish, it's
75%
crazy.
lean Democrat and vote Democrat, and 25% would be conservative. And so,
But
there's
what-
Ben
but-
Shapiro.
You don't think there's people that have prejudice against Candace Owens that happen to like her or like watch her stuff?
No, there's people who don't like black people,
Yeah.
but love that Candace Owens
They love that they can
is
use
giving
her.
them all the talking points against black people.
And not all or even most, but there are some.
Yeah, this is not everyone, but there are these groups. And what I was saying is Ben is going to have to work with that because now that he has the platform, the Daily Wire, is he fostering and aiding and helping and fanning the flame on these feelings of these groups? And are these groups now emboldened with their anti-Semitism? And as that happened, has he aided 10% to it, 20% to it?
Maybe. Or is he giving them like better footing to not go farther into that? Or
Sure. So, but wait, what were we just saying before you brought that up?
that there's people that are willing to look past the shit so long as it's on
And
their
I think
side.
what Kanye did is he tapped into a bunch of groups, specifically with the thing that he's been talking about, like Drink Champs and all the different podcasts, that are underrepresented. Anti-Semites, number one. They don't identify as anti-Semites. They're not like, we hate Jews. They're like, Jews run the media.
Yeah.
Jews run banks.
And if you criticize them, you'll lose everything, and your house is gone. Blah blah blah.
Exactly. So they're like, we don't hate Jews. This is just the fact of life. And the fact that nobody else sees this or says this is very frustrating. And then one of the most famous people on the planet says it. Now he can do no wrong.
In
Right?
their eyes.
In not mine, but
In their eyes.
in their eyes. Absolutely. Same thing with the George Floyd fentanyl thing. So all these people who believe George Floyd only died from fentanyl, right, are being told that they're liars every single day by the mainstream media. They truly believe it was only fentanyl. And every day they're told they're liars, they're stupid, they're idiots, they're conspiracy theorists. And then one of the most famous people on the planet goes, no, this is what happened. You're God. And I've spoken to some of these motherfuckers. They've all said, because they were criticizing me, so I was DMing with them. And I was like, yo, what are you really upset about? Like, what did I do? Why are you so angry at me? And they all said, literally, they all go, listen, Kanye's an idiot, but he's right about the fentanyl thing. You got to look at it. So they're using Kanye. They're just finally being agreed with.
Yeah. Sorry. What you said reminded me of a question I had about the Candace Owens guy.
Okay.
You think calling it the rise of BLM and going at this Black Lives Matter organization that I think all of us felt like was bullshit for a while, and then giving us all this evidence of why it's bullshit and vindicating that made people believe the George Floyd fentanyl thing even more.
Of course. Because
It
it
was
was
like a smart,
Yeah.
just one nugget about George Floyd dying from fentanyl, and then the rest is BLM bashing it.
I think if you hate what BLM did, like if you felt affected by it, and I'm sure that there's like, listen, there's people who have seen what cops went through because of the rhetoric.
Yeah.
They have cops in their family.
They got their stores.
They got their
destroyed.
stores fucked up, or their friends' stores got fucked up. There are like legitimate reasons to feel attacked by the movement, just as there are legitimate reasons to feel attacked as a black person.
Yeah.
Right? So I understand the frustration. So you're willing to discredit that in any way. And then one of the most influential people on the planet comes out and says the thing that nobody says and you're not supposed to say.
Black dude, yeah.
And a black guy. So you get to feel scot-free. Right? It's not some fucking white guy with one hand in the air who's usually saying it.
Yeah.
This is the coolest black dude
Yeah.
is saying it. So now you're like, yeah, of course, I'm going to support this no matter what. And anybody disagrees with him, fuck you. And I think he tapped into a few of those things. And finally, those groups came out of the woodwork. They're like, okay, it's safe. It's safe outside. We got a cool, powerful guy talking our shit. We never had it before, so we had to be quiet. And it's an interesting strategy.
Yeah. He sees Trump's playbook and he's following it to the T.
Yeah. Yeah.